the other side of the show. He said that he was still cool with coming on and stuff. It's a long message though. We will touch base back around to that once we are no longer live.
Well, I tell you what, partner. I'm ready to talk some WrestleMania.
Talk some mania. Honestly, like outside of the intro and my outro and stuff, like there's really no notes. Al's got some news and rumors. I'm gonna ask you guys what has you pissed off for greatness, and then we're just gonna kind of go down the cards, so to speak, and just kind of start with the. I'm gonna start with the main event. Fuck it, we're gonna start with Cody and Roman. We're gonna roll our way through it and just see it that way, man. It's just a fun night.
Let's do it.
Something Golden Road.
Oh man, Lee will not get that out of his head. Let me tell you.
No, that's been in my head for a while now.
Yeah, I remember the drive back from Big Event. I heard it like 15 times. The horror show Big Event.
Huh?
Oh God.
Put me with the other boxes.
Yeah. I've got Kyle up in the corner when he shows up. He says he says he's going to show up later and it'll be kind of an in and out thing. And once we get to Pissed Off for Greatness and the news and rumors, I'm going to send the link in the other group thread because there's a couple guys there that want to hop in and talk some shit about some WrestleMania too. Since I've got a couple boxes to fill.
I think Justin knows what I'm going to fucking talk about when it comes to Mania.
So I haven't touched my bag yet to pack, and I just realized my luggage tag from Dallas is still on there.
Bro, literally the only thing I have packed is I have everything ready for the Bushwhackers, Goldberg, and Naomi. That's all I've gotten done so far.
I think literally all I'm fucking bringing is like my Sasha, my Asuka. Wait, oh yeah, you don't have anything for Asuka yet, right?
I couldn't get her. Remember when I said the tickets sold out fast?
Oh, you didn't even get her at all? Oh, shit.
No! I was like, well, tickets sold out fast because I missed out on that.
God damn.
When I told you I was going to go do it, I went to go do it, and she already had a sold out all over her image, and I go, okay. This is just like an omen that they don't want me to actively go to WrestleMania this year.
Did you get your Undertaker stuff yet?
That got done, yes.
Okay, good.
I did 2 autos and the photo op.
With Taker?
Yeah.
That's dope.
And I'm going to do my Series 1 and my Legends figure, the Undertaker one. I was going to do the Series 8, but like they're going to have them again, so I'll just mail it all in. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I would have said do Mean Mark Callis, but he doesn't fucking sign as Mark Callis. He just signs
Here's the thing. I'm going to talk to Fitterman when I'm there because he was the one who actually found my wallet. So when I see him, I'm going to be like, hey, like, will he ever sign Mean Mark? Because, like, as a collector, I don't want Undertaker written on a Mean Mark figure.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? I don't.
I'm the same way.
That's like having Razor Ramon signed on a fucking NWO Scott Hall figure. Does that make sense? Right. Or Diesel on Kevin Nash.
Oh, wait, some breaking news. Mandy Rose did her first like meet and greet yesterday.
Yeah. And she would not sign Mandy Rose.
She signed it Mandy Sachs on everything.
On everything? Yeah. I wonder how many people she pissed off with that.
It's not like noticeable, but when you look at it, it's like, okay, that's an SC or SACS.
Huh. I mean, I respect it. A couple months back when she first did that interview, she was doing it all as Mandy Rose. So I mean, like, I understand.
Some people are weird like that. Like they only want to memorize one signature.
I wouldn't want Mandy Sachs on there.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I've got a Mandy Rose signed figure, and it's Mandy Rose.
Sign it Mandy Rose without getting in trouble because she doesn't own the rights to that name.
They don't own the rights to the name when they leave, and they still sign.
Yeah.
Like Bray Wyatt.
What was his name? Zach Wentz was still signing as
Nash Carter. Yeah.
When we saw him in Alabama a few weeks ago, he was still signing. Georgia. What'd I say? Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
Yeah, like they made a big stink about it a while back, but like it's always been like that. They'll sign as the WWE name.
That started with the the Jesse the Body stuff back in the day, because that's why I always call it the WWE identity crisis, but that's why they rebrand everybody with these new names when they come to WWE, is so they'll own the rights to whatever they work as under that name, because they can't own the rights to. That's why
like Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen, for instance. That's why Bryan Danielson became Daniel Bryan in the WWE.
Yeah, like when they tried to trademark Mia Yim and they tried to trademark Keith Lee, and they realized they couldn't do it, and they got mad about it because they already owned the rights to the name.
That's why they started adding like the Bearcat Keith Lee and Mia Yim and stuff like that, is so they can get loopholes around the way the words are, words are worded.
Yep. I'll give you guys an example. Last week I met John Morrison, about a week ago. And he signed my Elite John Morrison. Like, no issue. So.
Yeah, like there was a big deal about it a while back. I want to say it was like last year for some reason, because of all the mass firings.
Right.
And I just sat there too, and I was like,
well, like, there's no way to keep track of something like that.
Yeah, that means like WWE would like literally have to send somebody to every signing that a former talent is at to make sure that they're not signing that name.
Right.
They don't have the means to do that.
And you can't really pinpoint when this stuff is getting signed.
That's the other side of it too, is because they could sign it, now and just go, oh no, that was, 1998 when I was still,
Right.
I was still Isaac Yankem then, right? Like, no. Do you have a Yankem figure?
Lee might. I wish I did.
I'll ask him when he comes back, and then I'm going to hit the intro and we'll get rocking with it. Kyle says he's on the way. He got off work late and stuff. He's going to stop by in a little bit and throw his 2 cents. And then, like I said, once we get through Pissed Off for Greatness, I'm going to drop the link in a couple chats for a couple guys to fill some of these holes and see if anybody wants to hop on with us since we're going through the card.
Everybody's keeping their clothes on this time, yeah?
No.
That technically wasn't our show. That was on Perched when we did that.
That's why I'm off camera. I'm getting naked right now.
Lee's getting naked for the intro.
Oh my god.
Post it on TikTok too.
I'm very serious. I hope you hear everything I'm doing. I'm getting my chaps ready. Hear that clicking?
All chaps are assless if you think about it.
Assless chaps. I'm wearing assless chap.
It's never a dull moment when Lee's on a show.
How is he wearing assless chaps, but I'm the one with the cowboy hat?
You come on a show based in Nashville and you feel like you got to put your cowboy hat on?
No, it's my WrestleMania cowboy hat.
So in a couple years, when WrestleMania comes to Nashville,
acknowledge me.
Oh my god! I just edited that video today. I don't know how I forgot about that.
Ban it.
The best ever.
Yeah, Justin, how'd you like me at work last night?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I was half asleep when I read your messages.
I was like, dispatchers, acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Closing the window because those birds are really loud.
Lee, are you wearing that Roman Reigns vest to WrestleMania?
Oh, I'm wearing it on the plane, but I'm probably gonna get I'm probably gonna get like swatted or something. They're probably gonna think I'm like there to shoot the place up or something, you know? And I'm just gonna be like, no.
What's up, Dad?
Acknowledge me.
You just gotta tell him, no, I'm here for my tribal chief.
And hi, Justin, I'm watching on YouTube.
What's
Or
up,
I'm gonna be
everybody?
I'm gonna be like Tim, and I'm gonna be like, no, I'm here to meet the warlord. Do you know who the warlord is?
Bro, let me tell you something. So, when I went to Molly Holly yesterday, Nick from Captain's Corner was there,
Yeah.
and I was telling him about that story.
Well, he was the one that brought her in.
No, he brought Glacier in.
Oh. So Glacier stood around all day, right?
Yes.
Glacier.
Like, literally, one guy talked to him for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I told Nick about that story, and he's like, of course it'd be Tim to stooge everyone off.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit the intro. I'm going to say my little spilly spill, and then we're going to start talking about some wrestling. It's about a 40... You guys been on the show, never mind. It's about a 60-second intro. I'll be right back. Hello to all my people, and if you're watching live, checking us out on YouTube, or listening on your favorite podcast provider, you are most definitely my people. Welcome to another episode of Botched Spots and Share Shots, and tonight we're breaking down the showcase of the Immortals. I am your host, a chef by trade and a mark by choice, and joining us tonight... My name is still Will Gray, I forgot that part. But joining us tonight, they are regularly ranked pretty much anywhere, podcast charts that matter. Any podcast charts that matter, you'll find them there. They do everything. They've done dirt sheet writing. They do match analysis, figure talks. They do live shows and reviews. They do interviews. They are the boys from Perch on the Top Rope. Alex, Justin, how are you, Lee? My notes are all out of fucked up order right now. I'm sorry,
I'm
guys.
doing fantastic, and you know what, Will? I am so glad that you acknowledged me.
I acknowledge the shit out of you. Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
This is already going smashingly well. I'm so hyped for this. And not perched upon her boss bitch's corner because we've got things going on tonight. We've got people coming and going. She's just hanging out with the common folk tonight. She is the boss bitch, Miss Al Siegel. Al, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm not sure how I feel about being down here with you peasants, but it'll do.
Just being out of the boss bitch's corner. It's just a totally different vibe for you down here with the regular folk, huh?
The regular folk, yeah, I guess.
Before we get diving into it, I've got a little housekeeping. We've got a couple things coming up on the network. Tuesday, we are finally making the debut of Nerdy News at 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Dirty Belly, our chef show. The boys are going to be breaking down the history of collard greens on Wednesday at 11 a.m. My interviews this week, we've got Hold My Beer Hansen, the Silverback Nate Slater, and the Savage Gentleman Victor Benjamin. We've got trivia on Thursday with RN and Kai from Smacked Raw. There's lots coming up, so remember to hit that follow button, leave a 5-star review, comment, whatever you need to do. Don't miss out. But gentlemen, here we go. I always start it the same way every time. I ask you guys tonight, you can just spout off whoever wants to go first. What has you pissed off for greatness in the world of professional wrestling?
The main event of night one so far, being kind of unknown.
Is it
The
do you...
fact-
Go ahead, Justin.
The fact that at the moment Bobby Lashley does not have a match at WrestleMania.
What do you mean? He's in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial.
That's on SmackDown, asshole.
I know. That's where you go when you're not on the card.
Yeah, remember all those people Triple H brought back, like in the second half of last year, beginning of this year? Yeah, they're all in that Andre Battle over row, by the way.
The ones that are all about to get put into that the Neverland of NXT Europe when it opens up this summer. They're just going to start shipping people over there for views.
I mean, I was gonna say that they're the next round of best of luck in your future endeavors.
The next round of future endeavors are the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Welcome to the land of you're fired.
The over or under 6 month mark before we find out Vince is actually back in creative.
Oh, we know Vince is back in creative. Omos and Brock Lesnar is booked on this fucking WrestleMania card, man.
No wonder why Bray went home again.
He did. He packed his bags and went home. I'm not sure what's on the news and rumors. I agree with both of you, though. I think the toss-up, we're going to get into it because, like I said beforehand, I'm not even going to attempt to put them in any kind of order because right now, depending on which website you look at, there's different orders based on whatever website you're on. So I'm not even going to try to go in any order. I'm just going to start at the main event and work my way back. But first, Al's got some news and rumors for us to chew on before we dive into it.
Do I not get a pissed off for greatness?
I thought you said yours already. No, what's your pissed off for greatness, Al? I apologize.
Yeah, I don't really have one. I was just giving you shit.
Oh, well, that's awful nice of you. Fantastic. Well,
made me mad this week, I guess.
mine's gonna be in news and rumors. It's one of the first things that are on it because it's the one that I added. So, welcome Blasphemous with the first time chat. What's up? Yeah, I doubt Vince ever left creative. I think there's a mixed review of that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that some as we go through this card.
So, my first news and rumors, XPW, enough said, G-Raver, is it Masada?
Masada.
And a surgical syringe spot, and the debut of Mega Maga on all on the same card. Lazy booking or innovative wrestling.
Did you guys see this by any chance? I'm not sure. You guys, y'all probably don't cover a whole lot of death match wrestling on Perched on the Top Rope, do you?
No.
You guys, have you seen the XPW stuff on Dark Side of the Moon though? Or Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, I have seen that episode. Yeah.
I heard about this spot though. I did hear about it at least.
Yeah, Masada and G-Raver both have colorful histories in and outside the ring with some of their, their criminal activity, I guess is a good way to put it. They've done some really highly questionable things. And then the surgical syringe spot was exactly what you think it was, like up the old chute there. It was in front of a live crowd right there on the spot. And I said this morning on Twitter, I pretty much said it was just a lazy booking, cheap heat, and a way to kind of get some cheap views on it. So
wait, what was in this? What was in it?
It was just an empty syringe, but he stuck it in the dude's pee hole.
You stuck it in his urethra?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well,
he pulled his tights down and stuck us. Yeah. In a wrestling match.
I mean, I would say that's more extreme than when Priscilla Kelly, who we all know now is Gigi Dolan, pulled out a fake tampon and threw it in the other girl's face or mouth or whatever she did when she did that. Y'all remember that spot?
This is also the same company where Vic Grimes almost got killed, where he got thrown off the scaffold by New Jack. Same promotion where they were doing all of that stuff. So, I mean, does it shock me?
New Jack. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's XPW. They do porn and wrestling. So, it's just a mud show doing mud show shit, in my opinion.
I think it's a really dumb spot, being honest. There's a lot of things that could go wrong there. First off, if there was a little kid in the audience and all of a sudden this man's ding dong comes out, I'd be the first one calling the cops and being like, "Yo, we got someone running the pedophile mile here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Number two, even though if you put an empty syringe in somebody, you push, that can kill you.
Yeah.
An empty syringe, air, into the blood. It can kill you. Kills you.
Mhm.
It's like that's like. I mean, that's actually a higher spot than the if a kid's in the audience type deal and they call, because like at least you're still alive type deal, but you're just on a list and you got to go door to door and tell everybody.
You're just on a list instead
You're
of
on the
being
list
dead.
of Jericho.
Yeah, you're on the list of Jericho on this one, which is kind of fucked up. A very unnecessary spot, like, but it's got everyone on the internet talking. I've always been the type that any publicity is good publicity, you know, no matter how it's being talked about. I mean, look what it. I mean, again, I referenced the Priscilla Kelly spot with the bloody tampon, because that's really all I can go off of here. That's like a very similar situation, I guess. I mean, not similar. It's just as like disgusting and grotesque depending on how you look at it.
Is this just another deathmatch spot though at this point? Like, because what was the Joey Janela did the piercing needle through his jaw last summer and everybody lost their shit over that? You remember when that happened?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Like, is this just another deathmatch spot doing deathmatch stuff?
Yeah.
Is that just what it comes down to, really, at the core of it?
Just a really stupid deathmatch spot. Like, you know, it's one thing, like, you know, to do like what they've done in the WWF, WWE with like Shane McMahon, Steve Blackman, and things like that, where like they've jumped off scaffolding and things like that. You know, for death matches, you want spots. Those are fucking insane spots, in my opinion. Like, you know, but I think they kind of look at it as, well, the WWE did it. Why do we want to do that? Okay, like, you know, WWE is not deathmatch wrestling, but they still give some pretty crazy spots, and like jumping off Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens.
The street fight between Mick Foley and Cactus Jack. That could have been, you know, that was up there.
How about The Rock and Mankind, Mick Foley, when he is taking that chair and he is literally, you know, The Rock is literally bashing Foley's face in, and you see that deep red. I mean, that man was bleeding, you know? Like, those are definitely spots. Or like, how about the chair shot heard around the world? And I'm referring to The Rock and Ken Shamrock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, he blasted him in the face, like, wow. And I don't mean like a Brad Maddox and Page blast.
Oh, he had to go there.
Buzzing. Oh, what's next on your list?
Potential women's tag match for night 2. Becky says she wants to work both nights.
What you think, Justin?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that that's not the case already. With this Fatal 4-Way women's tag team match that they have announced now, this WrestleMania showcase match that they're doing for the men and the women, actually. I saw that they announced Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler for that, and it sounds like the prior plan was for Ronda and Shayna to face whoever the women's tag team champions were, whether it be Damage Control or Becky and Lita. Hey guys, Becky and Lita are the women's tag champs. You forgot about that. But you know, when Becky and Lita won, I figured that was kind of the plan all along. You know, do the 6 women that they have announced right now on night 1, and then defend the tag titles on night 2 with Ronda and Shayna. But it doesn't look like that's happening. I would imagine the winner of this 4-way women's tag match will get a title shot, because if they don't, I don't really understand much of the point of it. But I mean, that's what I have to say about it.
Yeah, Justin, I just agree with what he said. I don't think you can get much better than that.
Oh, thank you.
That was
You're
pretty
welcome.
sweet. I agree for them. I mean, yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Like, there's nothing if they're gonna have Becky work both nights. As it stands right now, I think they're up to 6 matches on both nights right now.
It would be like 6 and 7, I think. I think they have 13 announced.
13 announced.
Yeah.
When you look at it like that, like, that's a lot of matches anyways, so I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing. But you don't want it to get too long, but they said they were going for the quality over quantity. They were going for quality over quantity this year anyway, so they were already looking to cut back some. But I like the idea of having them work both nights, especially if the winner of the showcase match moves forward too. I agree with that. Next.
Supercard of Honor, lots of title matches. Reach for the Sky Ladder match plus AAA Mega Championship. Did TK put enough on the card to get $40 pay-per-view buys?
I think so.
It's what, Thursday night or Friday night this week?
Friday night.
Friday.
It's during
Friday night?
SmackDown.
I mean, it's worth $40, I think. The Mega Championship match with Vikingo and
Commander.
Yeah, Commander. That's going to be a banger of a match. Plus, you get the ladder match, and everything's pointing towards the Lucha Bros to come out on top there. So I think they've got a good, solid card put together. I don't see any reason why it won't be a banger of a pay-per-view worth $40.
Yeah.
Are there any stories to the matches?
Well, it's Ring of Honor. They've only been on TV for like 2 weeks.
Not anywhere shit.
So Lee's not paying $40 for Super Card of Honor?
No, Lee's going to be smoking weed in his hotel room while Justin's at SmackDown.
That sounds like a win.
Are they moving Rampage on Friday?
I don't think so. Or
Good,
wait, it
so
might
let's
be on
compete
Saturday
with
night.
each other.
It might be on Saturday night again this week, but I'm not for sure.
But then Rampage would compete with Mania, and that's dumb.
Oh yeah, then they're kind of screwed either way then.
No one watches Rampage anyway. It's fun.
It's true, nobody watches Rampage, but that seems dumb to, like, have Rampage
Compete against its own fucking company. Yeah, you're right.
It's fine. I know tons of indie promotions running against WrestleMania this weekend.
Also dumb. Like, why? Anyways. 22 years ago today, wrestling changes forever. Vince shows up on WCW for a second time, and the first since 1984 to say he had bought his competition. Do we need to give you a moment, Lee?
Yeah, this is a very sad day if you were around for this. I actually posted about this. I remember flipping back and forth. Shane McMahon, like, actually on WCW Nitro, and you're just like, I mean, this was literally the day the music died. And I was singing Bye Bye Miss American Pie, like dead ass. It was a sad day. Like, it really was. You know, there was so much history behind WCW before it was World Championship Wrestling. And to have lived through it and to have slowly watched WCW go down the way that it did, it was very disheartening, and really it was sad to watch. And you know, when you go back and watch it on like Peacock or YouTube, wherever you're going to catch it, if you watch that last episode, you can see that the venue is extremely small. I mean, you can go back to previous Nitros from 2000 and very early 2001, where they're in like small arenas, and even like these small 5,000 arenas, they have seats blocked off in black that you can't tell anyone's there. Very, very poor lighting. It was like it went back to WCW when Crockett was running the show, going to arenas that were in the middle of nowhere with piss poor lighting. You know, because he thought, you know, that's what pro wrestling was. And unfortunately, the death of WCW here with Vince buying it, and really led to more of the downfall of pro wrestling, that, you know, no competition, you're free to do as you please. And for a long time, I didn't pick wrestling back up from like 2001, and I didn't watch again until like 2008.
So just two things I have to say in regards to the day WCW died. Lee, you brought up Jim Crockett, and I just want you to know Tony Khan has more money than Jim Crockett ever did, and he's not going to stand by and take this shit. And second,
I see what you did there.
but anyway, yeah, so this episode of Raw, this simulcast with WCW Nitro and Raw is War, it's actually one of my first memories, you know, watching wrestling. I had kind of watched wrestling, sporadically, because at the time I was about 4 years old, believe it or not. Um, and this was one memory that I have like embedded in my head, because I lived in a WWF household. We didn't watch WCW, so I still have the VHS tape actually of the episode of Raw is War, from that night, and I've watched it like so many times. I'm surprised the tape just hasn't died out yet. Um, but yeah, it's a historical moment, and it's something we look back on, and it led to what we remember as the Alliance and the invasion later that year, which Lee is not a fan of, and I can tell by the way he's shaking his head. What's wrong, Lee? You don't like Sean Stasiak?
I have nothing wrong with meat. Okay?
Planet
Nothing wrong with
Stasiak.
meat. I have nothing wrong with meat. I have nothing wrong with Planet Stasiak, okay?
A little crazyak.
Little crazy
It's- It's just some of the others that were involved in the invasion angle and how it all went down.
Hugh Morris.
He's cool.
Okay.
Besides,
Mike Awesome.
dude, he was phenomenal.
Yeah,
And-
he was a great worker.
I mean, unless he was that 70s guy in WCW, which, what are you doing? You already had Disco Inferno. Not to
We all
mention,
know what
Van
a
Hammer,
success
too.
that was.
Van Hammer played a psychedelic 60s, 70s guy. Why do we... Disco Inferno was all you needed. Okay? Just
Do
saying.
y'all feel like TK's trying too hard to be like WCW?
I don't think as much anymore.
I think
there
early on
was
he
some
was.
in the beginning. Yeah.
No, because WCW had storylines.
Oh,
Ooh, sick burn. Lee's bringing the heat tonight, ladies.
I'm
and
sorry. Like, that's why I can't get behind it. Like, all right, the Vikingo and Kenny Omega match, I know I'm saying his name wrong. I did it on our show, and I'm sitting there talking about the guy the whole time, pronouncing his name wrong, and it was hilarious in my eyes.
Viking
It was like-
going.
it was
That's
like-
what we're
it was
calling
like me-
it now forever.
It was like me watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, like me trying to pronounce some of the names. I'm like,
it's
yeah,
El Hijo del Vikingo, Lee.
Valkingo. Okay, there we go.
Vikingo.
Vikingo. Okay, I kept calling him Vikingo.
Vikingo.
So my problem is there's no storylines, there's no build up to the match. It's like, hey, we're gonna announce this great match. Okay, that's great, but like to the casual fan, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Who the fuck is that guy? Like, you're not telling me who this guy is. Like, I made a post about this on our Facebook page, and like one of the first comments I got was, Google it. It's not my job. I shouldn't have to Google somebody. You're bringing a talent in, and you're expecting everybody to know this guy. You know, the casual fan's not going to know this guy. Only like the die-hard, what I would consider the tape traders of the 90s, know that guy. I clearly don't know that guy, and it shows. I mean, I'm wearing a Roman Reigns vest, for crying out loud. That should really
I watch AAA. I know who he is, but I'm also not the average wrestling fan, though.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I
you know,
mean?
there's-
Like, people aren't gonna know, and they did great jobs with vignettes, and I know that Justin and Lee both appreciate the lost art of a good video vignette to help build a story. They're not utilized the same anymore. They did a good job using it here, but it just wasn't enough. And I think one match throwing him straight in there is a kitty cat. Just throwing him in there with the one match. He showed out, he showed off. They had a fantastic banger of a match, but I agree. It's hard to have any long-term like love and drive for a character if it's a one-off every time we ever see him.
Yeah, it's like it's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nope, go. You go.
And it's great and all that you announce these great matches and stuff, but again, to me, there's no build up, there's no story, there's no like a vignette like of just, hey, this guy's from AAA, this guy's won this belt, this guy's done this guy's done that. That would be great. That'd be great if I got at least that.
Yeah.
But instead, it's that, and I guess I should have used this for the beginning segment. How many major announcements can you make?
Every
Immediately.
Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, apparently.
Whenever the ratings are low, bro.
I mean, that's a lot. Man, you got to start doing that on Rampage then.
Well, I mean,
Major announcements for Rampage every Saturday at 11 p.m.
I'll make a similar argument. So, you know, you have AEW Dark and AEW Dark Elevation every week, Monday and Tuesday. You could have the greatest matches AEW has ever had on those shows, but from the times I've tuned in, which is very rarely in the past few years, it's just match, and there's no storyline. There's no, oh, well, we have this independent talent on the show competing against so and so that's contracted to AEW. Here's a little snippet to tell you a little bit more about them. No, we don't get that. You know, it's just you can give me match, and could all be great, but there's nothing separating anything. You know, like there's no substance to it. I'm just watching a great match. It's not. And like I said, I haven't watched Dark and Dark Elevation in a long time. I don't know what the match quality is on there now. I know Lee has watched a full episode of Dark and he loved it, but that's just a similar.
Why do you gotta lie to the people?
Lee's.
No, you told me you loved Luchasaurus's promo on that Dark episode you watched.
Oh God, yeah.
An avid AEW Dark. You're getting on a lot of YouTube there, Lee.
No, I had to cover one AEW Dark for Sports Keto one time because the normal writer couldn't do it, so I got put in the position. And man, let me tell you, there was like 14 to 16 matches. One promo, and it was by Luchasaurus, and it was, have you ever seen a dinosaur cut a promo that went to college? And I instantly wanted to go, absolutely not, because I want to turn this shit off. This is terrible. Match after match after match. And there was 5 matches in a row. I could tell you when the swinging neck breaker was coming with the kick up and a goddamn super kick. It was like, yo, Coach Gunn, why the fuck are all the matches the same? What are we doing here? And I also want to let you know that, like, even though I watched it, the article never came out.
Oh.
Lee, so you did that all for nothing?
Yeah.
As a dirt sheet writer, I can confirm I've got articles that I sent out into the nether that like never saw the light of day, that I never got paid for, that they assigned me to write, interviews I did, and I never saw a dime for it. Fuck it, right? Like you spend hours of your time getting this stuff together for them because they ask you to, and then you do it, and you write it, and you edit it, and you publish it, and you get it up, and then it never sees the light of day.
It's Vince's favorite quote. Fuck 'em.
Fuck them.
Watching AEW Dark made me not want to watch wrestling. I'm just saying.
There's been a few times that have happened with me where I think at the end, there have been many of those tweets where the Will Gray tweets out, I don't think I like pro wrestling anymore after a certain Wednesday or Friday night show on occasion. That's been my mantra a few times because of it. Al, what's next?
So Alexa Bliss has been missing-ish from TV. We recently found out that she was on The Masked Singer. She has been on a planned break since losing the Raw Women's Championship match to Bianca Belair at Royal Rumble. She announced on Wednesday that she underwent a procedure to have skin cancer removed, but did not say when she would be back in the ring, which is all interesting. But the other day, she tweeted, I'm tired of seeing these tweets. I'm not on hiatus. They know where to find me. Clearly, bitch, you're on hiatus if you had surgery. It's very confusing. Like, that's amazing that she got, like, whatever removed, whatever, like, I hope everything heals and all that stuff, but, like, don't bitch about how you're not on hiatus when you kind of are.
If you're on The Masked Singer, doesn't that mean you're on a hiatus from WWE, guys? Isn't that how I typically would understand that? Like, if you're on a show that requires you to film weekly shows for 4 or 5...
It's pre-recorded.
But the point is, like...
Yeah.
Like, I would understand that. But I don't understand her bitching about it. Like, if you're not on a hiatus, then whatever. But if they're not using you for creative... Who was it in WCW? One of their guys went home after the signing and got a paycheck and was never used on WWE TV, but was still under contract.
For WCW or WBA?
WCW, rather, sorry.
Was it Lanny Poffo?
Maybe it was. It was one of those guys. They were like drawing a check like every year, no questions asked, but they were never used on TV. It sounds like it would have been Poffo. But this is what it's
I
like.
think Lanny Poffo was signed as kind of a favor to Randy Savage.
Yeah, but just sat at home and drew money. That's what she's doing.
Right.
She's a 7-figure contract getting paid to sit at home and draw money. Like, okay.
You know,
I don't
I
feel
was,
bad for her.
But she wants to be on TV. That's the thing.
I was
Well, when
kind
the
of
fuck is she going to show up?
never.
The booking of Alexa Bliss over the last 3 to 4 years has been something, man. Like,
Blame that doll.
It all started with
doll's
the
a big part
fucking
of it.
Owen. It all started with the Randy Orton thing a few years back.
I think with her being kind of missing now is I think they were trying to tie her back in with Bray, and since he's, MIA, they don't really have anything for her to do. Yes, Lee.
Yeah, he went bye-bye.
Oh, I thought you were like raising.
No, I'm just waving.
No,
Just
he
waving.
took his ball and went home. Lee and I have been on that same impression since the day it happened.
Well, I have a thing.
You have a thing for that?
I mean, I'll skip down to it. Bray Wyatt has been seen out and about looking very healthy. Ringside News reached out to confirm Bray Wyatt's WrestleMania status. We were told that this is totally up in the air at this point. Nobody has been told that Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley's match is on or off. A tenured member of the WWE creative team told us that no one here knows top level information, and it's top level information and it's not flowing down. At this point, it's anyone's guess what WWE will do.
well, it looks like the match is off, just judging by that match graphic for the Andre Battle Royal.
Having
Sad.
him be in that, I mean, he technically could work night 2 of Mania if he works Friday night, I guess, if they wanted to. But I'm still, like I was saying before we went into it, I don't think Wyatt's going to come back right now, if ever again. The whole he looks healthy is one thing we all know, and I'll speak highly for it. Mental health awareness, it's okay to not be okay. All of those things. That aside, we do know that there had been rumblings. Multiple guys had reported that there were creative issues with Wyatt and the creative team. And it was all that push and pull. And I think that's what we keep seeing with Wyatt every time he turns up.
Yeah.
Well, my whole issue with this current run Bray Wyatt has been on, it's been a lot of build to a lot of nothing. The story just keeps going. It feels like it's just a repeat every single week. Even at the very beginning, where I swear for like 2 months, it was just Bray would come out, cut a promo, and, oh, here's Uncle Howdy on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But who's Uncle Howdy? We don't know. And then the segment just ends. You can only do that so much. And the fact that Bray's been back by the end of next week, it'll be 6 months. And
Yeah,
we've gotten
Extreme
one
Rules in
televised
October.
match We've gotten one televised match out of him, and it was a fucking soda match. Like, well, yeah, could you imagine them putting a dark character like the Undertaker in a fucking soda match? And
Hold
Yeah.
on.
what is this?
Teddy Long's got to come out and be like, listen up, playa. You're going one-on-one with The Undertaker. And by the way, it's a Dr. Pepper on a pole match.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, it's gonna be a Baja Blast brawl.
Yeah, the Baja Blast Brawl. What would be another one we could do?
Ooh.
The
I
Kraft
think Pepsi
Macaroni
on a
and
pole
Cheese
would've been
Massacre. That'd be
Not
a
if
good one.
Pepsi's involved, Justin, you need CM Punk.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of CM Punk, has CM Punk lost his mind or lost his filter? Even though CM Punk initially considered legal action and wanted out of his AEW contract after the backstage fight at All Out in 2022, it's been heard that talks between Punk and AEW have been progressing well, and he was open to a return, which is interesting considering his weekend Instagram post shenanigans.
Did you guys get into all that with what he was posting on his Instagram stories? Did you see it at all, Lee?
Yeah,
I saw the one.
I also saw what he posted on Rey Mysterio's, which was
Mhm.
rather funny.
About wanting to beat Dom's ass 12 years ago or whatever?
Yeah, I refer to this as how to stay relevant 101. Basically, he's not in wrestling. He's made some appearances doing commentary for some MMA company I've seen.
Like an
Uh,
B tier, like third list MMA company.
yeah, like, hey, paycheck's a paycheck, right? Like, he comes back. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's solely what it's for. Paycheck's a paycheck, and homeboy needs a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs are expensive now.
Eggs are super expensive.
Well, maybe AJ Lee can write another book and make some money for the household.
Yeah. Fretzelmania on YouTube says Punk is writing a MySpace diary like an emo teen. That is fantastic.
That's 1000% what that is. I think if he comes back, he comes back. And you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those toxic guys. And I've said that a few times, and I've said that a few different ways. Like, he was toxic in Ring of Honor. He was toxic in WWE. He was toxic, in AEW. Like, it's gone all over the place. He's had his fallouts. But also at the same time, you're like, is it always Phil's fight? Eggs aren't that expensive, the Viper says.
They went up like 600%. That's like insane. Before the pandemic, I could get a carton of eggs for $1.19. Now I can't get them for less than $5 or $6. That's quite a difference.
Eggs are like $5 Canadian here at most. What are they down there? I think in like here in Tennessee, a dozen eggs was like $3 something.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All right, everybody in the chat, drop where you're from and how much a dozen eggs cost for us. Let's figure this out.
A dozen in New York was like $1.19. Now it's $5-6. That's quite the hike.
$6 for a dozen eggs is a shit ton. That's a lot. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm going vegan.
Go vegan. I couldn't go vegan.
No,
There's a
I
whole
need
conspiracy
to do
theory behind it, but I won't let me talk about conspiracy theories on the air.
Not this show. There's another show for that.
I need meat, and I'm not referring to Sean Stasiak.
Stasiak. At Aldi, they were $2.19 today. If you want organic free range, they're $8. That's pretty expensive-o.
Let's see. Next, Gangrel, I guess is how you say it.
Gangrel.
Yep. Is set to return with Edge for his Hell in a Cell match for his entrance.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I was expecting Brood Edge going into the match anyway. I figured they were going for, Vampire Brood Edge versus the Demon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need Edge, though, to be wearing, like, the old school outfit. You can be the Brood. You coming back as the Brood. You got to be dressed like the Brood. I want blood, which, by the way, I don't want, like, the different colored blood that they did the one time when Edge...
Oh, yeah, the black goo that dripped down Alexa Bliss's face that one time.
Yeah, no, we need red. We need the red blood. We need Gangrel to drink out of his chalice and spit it out at the crowd.
Gangrel and his pimp cup.
We need the Brood theme song to come out for one more night.
Like
The
it did at
original.
SummerSlam.
Yes.
When he walked down the... First off, we were in the stadium for that show, and they did this whole ass thing where they rolled the stairs out. But because it's an outdoor stadium, we watched the whole thing happen. There was no, like, surprise element to it, because they had to, like, build the stage while the match was happening.
Right.
It was not. Fretzelmania says Edge has got to wear the white flowy shirt. God, if he comes out with like the big like draped like Shakespeare looking like robe and gown like he used to do, that would be awesome. Take it all the way back to like 1997, like Brood Edge. Yes.
Let's see, a couple of NXT things. WWE officials have been unhappy with NXT crowds lately. They sent a memo to talent and crew encouraging them to bring family and friends to this week's double taping to help bring energy to the crowd in the final shows leading up to Stand and Deliver. They also filed a trademark for NXT Battleground.
NXT Battleground?
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch NXT.
In regards to the crowd, get out of the fucking performance center. We could try that.
That's big facts there. I do think they got to get out of the performance center. They're dying now that AEW is going on the road. They have to adapt house shows at some point, right?
Yeah, well, NXT does do those house shows like only in that Florida area, but I mean that's about it. Other than that, and TV and the premium live events, that's all the TV NXT has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time NXT went on the road. It didn't go well. I don't think it would go well again, to be honest with you.
No, when it was black and gold, it was doing pretty well, depending on which city they went to.
They did okay. They came to Nashville a few times.
Yeah, they came to Albany a few times too, and other than one time, it was packed every time. So I'll give them credit.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll be interesting on y'all's take about this since y'all are figure and autograph collectors. If I can pull up my thing that I lost. So Rhea had a little breakdown this week on Twitter about people harassing her at an airport to sign autographs. There is a TikTok of her looking really frazzled, sitting in the floor, signing like pops and various things. She tweeted, "People need to respect that no means no. At airports, do not follow me outside. Today has put me off completely. I will not sign anything that isn't a personal photo of us anymore. Hate me, I don't care. Disagree with me. Try putting yourselves in our shoes for one bloody day."
I watched the TikTok where she's signing, and you get her eyes are like barely open. You can see she's tired. And at one point, you hear her say she signs, and then she comes around to this other side, and she kind of looks up, and she's like, "Oh wow, y'all are multiplying. Where are you coming from?" And you can see at that point she was done. She was like, I mean, these people were coming up with like flat cardboard with like multiple things on to get signed,
like 10 Funkos just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, right. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and we had just seen like a month ago the video of Rey Mysterio running into the same issue.
Who else was it? Somebody else posted a video about it.
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan also had it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of professional athletes that travel, I would say, that have the same issue. However, I would say sports teams, mostly have like their own transportation type deal. If WWE really wants to do this, they do have a private jet that they could just fly all the wrestlers if need be type deal. Or get a second plane, get your own plane, start flying them their own way, or it's one of those unfortunate things because, you're a celebrity, even though you're a you're a sports entertainer, but you're a celebrity.
That whole public figure thing, right?
Yeah. You're an athlete, you're a public figure, you're in the eye of the public. So, they also have to watch how they act when these situations go on, because nowadays the first thing everyone wants to do instead of trying to help someone is they pull out their phone to record it.
Yep. Which is what
and like in that situation right there, someone have security, TSA in the airport, follow them around, no autographs, arm out, get away from her type deal. The thing of like her saying like don't follow me, that's kind of like a scary thing in itself. Granted, she's jacked, and I believe she's like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". I think she's one of the more taller women on the roster. Still though, like, to be followed what if it's someone like Liv Morgan size, Dakota Kai size,
Yeah.
you know, and a couple guys bum rush her and grab her? You know, like you got a scary situation on your hands at
Inside
that
of
point.
a crowd of like 15 people anyway, so you can't see what's going on.
Yeah. I really think this is an issue that WWE needs to look at and probably take more serious, especially with um, the smaller female talent.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
I I'm against it. I won't go to an airport. I won't go to the hotel. Uh, Justin and I go to like a lot of meet and greets and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, um, granted that they make 6, 7 figures, it's no different than when like Shaquille O'Neal is doing a meet and greet. You got to pay for it, or someone from this TV show is doing a meet and greet. You got to pay for it. Uh, they're human. Respect their privacy.
Yeah.
And
You
as
know,
a
because
collector, it frustrates me because it makes it hard if you do meet somebody in the wild, because they automatically assume you're just one of these guys that are going to want to get 25 pieces signed of the same thing. So if I meet somebody in the wild, I don't want to approach them because I don't want to be lumped into the same crowd as some of these guys. You know what I mean? It makes it harder for real collectors or real fans to approach the people they want to meet in the wild because these people act the way they do sometimes.
Yeah. I
I'm-
mean,
um,
oh,
go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
we live in Nashville, and part of living in Nashville, there is a unwritten rule that you don't bother the celebrities out in public, and generally most people like abide by said rules. It's why so many of the celebrities live here. It's like, you know, they have lives. Like, leave them the hell alone. Like, it's one thing, you know, to go and pay and like do it at a show, but like just out living your life, like you wouldn't want somebody harassing you while you're running through the airport looking like shit.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is like it's sports entertainment. In that sort of essence, you at the airport or hotel, things like that, you're not harassing Rhea Ripley, the WWE star. You're harassing like her real name, the real person. Like as wrestling fans, I don't think that we, you know, usually grasp or understand that, you know, the person that we are trying to get the autograph from isn't the person that we're seeing on Monday Night Raw. We're seeing the real person themselves. And that's where I think it kind of gets lost in perspective, because like Shaquille O'Neal is Shaquille O'Neal, but Rhea Ripley's not Rhea Ripley. You know? So something like that, you know, I just look at it differently, because you're not harassing Rhea Ripley. You're harassing, I don't even know her real name, to be honest with you.
I believe it's Demi Bennett.
Okay, well,
Yeah, Demi
Yeah.
Bennett.
Demi Bennett
in
is
the, yeah, WrestleMania in the chat was just agreeing with us. Like, being in the public eye does not give the public carte blanche to demand attention from these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it's and people themselves, like when they don't get what they want, we see how they act. They act like a bunch of crybaby piss pants.
I knew he was gonna fucking fit it in there.
Cry baby.
I knew he was gonna fit it in there.
He needs that on his shirt. I've only got 2 left, and then we can.
We'll power through this card.
Naomi says she's no longer part of WWE, has removed WWE from all of her socials, has filed for a trademark for the name Trinity Star to be used for merchandising and entertainment in the nature of wrestling contests.
Well, I'm meeting her, so as long as she signs Naomi, I'm cool with it.
I hope she signs Trinity Fatu right on there.
I hope she does.
I'll take it back. I'll be like, nope, erase it. I don't want your autograph now.
I want this and my $40 back, please.
Yep.
No,
I
what
will-
is she? What is she for WrestleCon? 70 per auto?
I don't remember.
Oh,
I know that if you did the 3-word inscription with a combo, it came out to like 130.
Damn.
I mean, we paid that much for Mick Foley.
I guess that was it that much.
It was no Mick was 100.
Yeah, but it's Mick fucking Foley, and I'm not
Yeah,
taking
I feel
anything
like
away
that's a
from
little
Trinity
much for
Fatu,
Naomi.
but
Yeah.
like
Right.
Foley for a meet and greet, a photo, and an auto with an inscription, like on a piece of memorabilia, maybe pushing $100 for the exact same thing with Naomi being more than Mick Foley. Not taking anything away from who Naomi is, but she's definitely not fucking Mick Foley.
Well, I hope she's not fucking Mick Foley.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks.
That's amazing. Last thing, Dax Hardwood said Cody Rhodes' push in WWE has made us reevaluate the things we could possibly do in the future.
I've been saying since last October that they would debut the Monday night after WrestleMania. And I still stand by that.
There's a good thing Justin's sitting down. He's a huge FTR fan, so I mean, I was very good with this.
Yeah,
Pretzel says Brett's going to be between 150 and 200 Canadian dollars at the Niagara Comic Con this June, for Bret Hart. So $200 for Bret Hart. That seems crazy. What's up, Jess?
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, there he is. Just out of nowhere, random Kai Tai appears.
I wasn't sure how that would work, if I'd be put into a waiting room or if I just got to like bombard the stream.
No, you got put in a waiting room with them. I had to add you to the stream when you popped up, but here you are. You're in you're up in Allison's corner typically. I can move you around, but she said she liked being with the peasants tonight.
Sick.
Kyle's in the boss bitch's corner, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a
I
nice
am the
shirt.
boss bitch,
Is that a
everybody.
new shirt, Kai? That's nice. I like it.
I wore it as a joke. I look like a giant creamsicle.
Oh, I think it looks nice.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate the compliment. I'll take them where I can get them.
I do like that shirt. Perfect timing though, because we're on the last news and rumors, and we're about to start diving into the card now. So that was the perfect time for you to show up.
Dude, let's do it, man.
Yeah, that literally was my last news and rumor.
Sweet. Once again, guys, like I said, with the card being all over the place, with it being WrestleMania season and all, the showcase of the Immortals, as you will, there seems to be a lot of indiscrepancies with the order of the card or which matches are going to be on which night, or asking as a fan, do you guys remember the last time you couldn't recite the WrestleMania card less than 7 days out?
Last year.
Every year.
But when was the last time you had a WrestleMania card memorized, though, Kai?
I was about to say, you are severely overestimating my memory's ability.
But for me, I feel like I had a better grasp on the cards going into the weekend by this point in previous years, and the last two have felt like they've been thrown together in these last two shows before the pay-per-view goes down. Do you guys feel that way with it this year too, or am I just being crazy here?
No, I feel the same way about certain matches going into the show.
For me, it's just I remember during the Attitude Era, matches were as soon as Royal Rumble, after the Rumble, man. And my thing is now this is the problem when you have a pay-per-view every month. You can't build stories fast enough. AW, take notes. There's just it's hard to build a story, when you try to build up WrestleMania and you try and only do it in 4 weeks.
Viper
every
says the
pay-per-view.
winners of the Royal Rumble, no matter what, should headline both nights. Women's Royal Rumble one night, men's Rumble one night. That's it, straightforward. I don't think I disagree with that.
I don't, but Rhea Ripley and Charlotte has already happened on WrestleMania a few years ago. Why the hell do I want to see it again on WrestleMania?
It'll probably be one of those matches where we don't care going into it, but then they'll win us over during the match.
Well, no, I'm not expecting it to be a bad match. I'm expecting it to be a good to great match, but the build and the story going into it has just been more than underwhelming. To be a main event of WrestleMania on one of the nights.
Can we
Yes.
stop just throwing around main event? Like, can we stop throwing around that term? Is goddamn it, every like show on Raw, SmackDown, they announce the tag team match is the main event. The women's match is the main event. The four-way tag showcase match is a main event on WrestleMania. There's one fucking main event. All right. There's one main event, and I'm sorry, people of night one, y'all don't have a main event. Okay, you have an intermission match.
What? The intermission main
I mean,
event?
he's not wrong.
The intermission, yeah, it's an intermission match. It's intermission from night 1 to night 2. It's not a main event.
I
Well,
think.
if it's Charlotte and Rhea, I can go home early.
Wow, Lee's just starting here before I even get to the match. That's gonna be that'll be a quick one for Lee then when we get to the women's championship match.
It's gonna be the Sammy and KO versus the Usos on night.
That's what I
night
hope
so.
one.
That's what
I
it's-
hope so.
Like I love Charlotte and Rhea, but like honestly, like for how much, like how big this match is, they would be stupid to not have it be the last match of night one. Like it would be dumb. And, you know, again, we're in this situation where the bloodline storyline is overpowering literally every other story. Because it's the only one anybody really cares about. It's the only one that they've actually, like, worked on.
It's got the best storytelling and build to it.
Yeah.
That's why it needs to be, you know, the intermission match, I guess, for night one.
Thank you.
Viper says the story is she won the Royal Rumble. The main event of WrestleMania is the winner of the Rumble versus the champion that they chose.
But that's not a story. That's just inserting somebody into a slot.
Yeah, and they've, you know, in any time they've had a Royal Rumble winner, there's a story between the two.
Yokozuna, that was a fantastic story.
Have KO and Sammy open night 2. I could see that if it was gonna like be like an all night narrative throughout the night.
The bloodline slowly cracking.
Yeah, throughout all of night 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like the slowly crumble and like the depreciation of it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can, I'm sorry, I don't think you can have that match open night 2 though, because then like it's gonna suck the wind out of like the next couple of matches. So unless you
I agree.
unless you got some crappy matches planned, I sure as hell do not want to follow that match.
That's too big of a match to not be the semi or the main one of the two nights. Back when I originally said it, when I said, okay, it's going to be KO and Sammy, they announced the Elimination Chamber in Montreal, I was like, Sammy will be out of the bloodline by then. I was like, that's just the way it'll happen. Then it'll be Sammy and KO building to Mania for the tag titles. And I said that I wanted it to be them on one night losing, and then Solo losing a match, then Roman losing the titles. So it's like, bam, bam, and then at the very end of it, we watch the tower crumble, and Roman finally gets that long-awaited break. And so do the Usos. The Usos have a hell of a work rate. Those guys work a ton compared to everybody else in that company right now.
Right.
So let's just dive into it, guys. Let's go ahead and start. We're gonna start with the head of the table, the tribal chief, the big dog. With, you know, as Lee's wearing it right there, I'm gonna throw the old gimmick in. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes versus the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. We're gonna have Paul E. dangerously in his corner. We're gonna have, you know, Roman and Cody, the finishing his story, the Royal Rumble winner. What do you guys think? Where are you guys at with this match? And after you finish saying your little spill, tell me who you think got winning it. Kyle, you go first. I'll just go ahead and call you out. I'll start calling names then.
All right. The match sounds exciting. I think Cody's gonna win.
Lee?
I took the vest off for a reason.
Oh, he's been waiting all night for that one.
Clever.
The American Nightmare, baby, is going to be hashtag and new. That's
Do
Do
right.
you not have a Cody shirt?
Are you wearing? No,
I have an Edge shirt on right now, but I do have a Cody shirt.
I thought it was
Should've
a
been wearing
Rush
a Cody
at
shirt.
first.
Oh, dude, like the ripping. Oh, that would have been good.
I thought it was a Rush shirt. I was about to
It
start
was-
singing Limelight.
It was very last minute to put the vest on. It was sitting over there calling.
It looks very hot.
There was a whole conversation, Kyle. You missed it right after we went live. Allison made it a point to say to Lee, Justin, and I that we weren't allowed to get naked on this broadcast at any point.
I considered
Showing up
keeping the
without
joke
clothes on?
alive, like just spontaneously creating a gimmick where I show up naked on everyone else's podcast. I considered it, but I have children running around.
I hear Jess yelling in the background.
No, my son just came in to tell me there was a spider on me.
Oh,
And he's-
I didn't know
and
she
he
was
said
heard
April.
you saying you're going to start showing up naked, and she was like, "To hell you are."
Wait, did you hear me say that, Jess? Never mind. No, she didn't hear it. It was
Okay.
DJ y'all heard.
Well, we'll just
I said
pretend
I was
like
going to
she
show up
did.
naked on their show. Yeah,
Naked.
me. I'll be naked on Will's show.
We're official now. We got a cameo from
Like-
the kids.
What if? Oh yeah, DJ just popped in.
I was going to say it's
What
a
if?
DJ
What if
cameo.
I like? No, tell me what you think about this. I do my show like normal, but I appear on everyone else's show naked. Like it could be like a gimmick.
So instead of naked Minion, we have naked Kyle.
Naked. What do you mean? No, support me, babe. It's funny. It's funny. Sorry
I
about that.
support it. Tell her I
sorry.
support it.
No, I support you being naked, and it's my show.
Okay.
No one wants to see. Viper says nobody wants to see Kyle naked. He's just throwing it out there.
Thanks, Vanessa. Don't throw stones at glass houses, though. Okay, let's just be honest.
Justin, where's your brain at with Roman versus Cody?
Okay. So
We're gonna walk away from Kyle being naked real quick.
yeah,
Let's just
What a
let's move
transition.
on.
So when it comes to Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania, I think I'm gonna go on the record say this is a main event, a WrestleMania main event the last long while that I've been very excited for because I feel like you can go either direction and it'll work. You know, you have Cody coming back last year at WrestleMania in Dallas, tearing his pec. Somehow he wrestled a fucking Hell in a Cell match. Don't ask me how that happened, but
Best
It
WWE
happens.
match of the year.
Dude, best Hell of the
Yeah.
Cell match ever, man.
right. And you know, Cody came back at the Rumble, number 30. Had that great sequence with Gunter at the end, and we'll get to him later on. But you know, I think it's the time. You know, this Bloodline story is definitely coming to its end. We have all the teases with Jimmy and Jey Uso. You know, slowly parting.
Carolina. Thanks for following, Clark Street. Welcome in.
I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes to defeat Roman Reigns and become the new WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, Cody Rhodes.
Al, will you do your Cody Rhodes intro? Will you do a ring announcer's voice? Where's he from? From Atlanta, Georgia, the American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes, do it.
No.
Who do you think's gonna win, Roman or
I
Cody?
mean, obviously Cody's gonna win.
Hey, can we point out that Justin has like a halfway decent Fink? Like, I don't know if you're trying to do Fink, but it sounds pretty close to
Oh,
Fink.
I was going for Fink.
Okay,
is
no, that's not bad, man.
This is Howard Finkel.
Howard Finkel. The Fink. I miss the Fink.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm also going with Team Cody for this one. I think, like I said, that Roman and the Usos have long deserved some break. And I think this is the weekend to do it. You know, break the bloodline up, let them all get some time. Let them, not to mention the fact that it's been the best television for probably the last 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, some of the best writing, it's been some of the best storytelling, it's been some of the best matches in WWE. Like, this is a good place for it to come to a head, and this will be a good jumping off point for all the good stories that we're going to get for the next year in a WWE sans bloodline. So I think this will be a good jumping off point.
And you know, another thing to it is it's like, if it's not Cody to dethrone Roman, Like, then who? You
Gunther
know?
at SummerSlam,
Seth.
Money in the Bank.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but anyway.
Who
I
do
don't
you
know,
got, Lee? You got real close to the camera.
I
Say
think
it.
Cody's the guy.
You want to know who it's going to be?
Tell me.
Who's it gonna be?
Don't, Lee. Don't. I know who you're gonna say.
Mantar.
Oh, Jesus.
Mantar is going to
Go to bed.
dethrone Cody Rhodes.
Love you. You smell good.
Thank you.
Is that soap? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Is that soap? Well, yeah.
Oh, and water. All right.
Soap and water. He did it the right way, Dad. Is that soap and water?
But yeah, if Roman retains here, get ready for the bloodline for another year. I feel like.
Ugh.
The story of Cody returning is him winning the championship. Having him win on his first shot is lackluster to me. Viper wants to see him climb. Do you think seeing him take an L, then maybe coming back at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam would be a viable option, and then Roman get his break to get the 1,000 days?
Look, you could, but I feel like I feel like it takes the wind out of Cody for a little bit.
I just
And
no.
I
I
feel
just
like you
convinced
missed.
myself of it.
I feel like you missed the window for the biggest win, though. Like, you're sacrificing, no matter which way you spin it, you're sacrificing one moment for another. I feel like the winning at WrestleMania will be much bigger than like a win at SummerSlam. But unfortunately, you have to sacrifice 1,000-day reign for that option.
And that's another point. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go with that 1,000-day reign, I just don't think it's going to be as big of a win for Cody or whoever for that point in come SummerSlam.
I mean, if
Like-
Cody hadn't have hadn't gotten hurt, we would have had the climb to where, like, you know, Cody could have lost at an Elimination Chamber, and Cody could have lost at, you know, all the other things that have happened. You know, Cody could have lost at the Rumble. You know, like, we would have had the climb to his ultimate win at WrestleMania.
Had he not gotten hurt
Right.
before. I
Right.
guess that's a good point, too. Okay, maybe I don't change my answer then.
Yeah, because
I'm sticking with Cody.
It just, for him to lose now, I think honestly, like, it would deflate everything that he's been built up to, and like,
Not to mention the way they built this story, he has to win.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
if he doesn't win, the way they frame this story, Cody's a punk bitch, dude. If he loses at WrestleMania, there's just no way around it. He is backed into a corner where he has to win, or everything. Yeah, it's
Or his
He
dad
has to.
never loved him.
yeah.
You win or your
exactly.
dad never loved
Well, I
you.
mean, that's kind of the story that they've painted. That, you know, Roman was the son that Dusty always wanted. As far as, like, as a wrestler, you know, he never trained Cody. He never did anything wrestling-wise with Cody.
But the Dream went on record many a time saying that Goldust was a fucking piece of work. He thought that was brilliant character work.
Yeah.
Well, it was,
That's the
man.
son he
Look
wanted.
how long Goldust has been around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was a big advocate for Goldust. So I think we know who the Dream's favorite son really was. Is the natural.
some hard
Dustin
times.
Rhodes.
But I'm just saying,
Oh
like,
shit!
if he doesn't,
Hard times. That gives me an idea for a gimmick. Jess.
if he doesn't win, then it just proves that, like, you know, his dad never cared about him, and that's the story they've built. So obviously, they're not going to let that be the thing.
I got an idea for a gimmick. What if every time I guest on another show, I like pop a blue chew and then I announce when I get a boner? No?
I'm good with like you wearing like a white shirt where you can see your nipples.
White shirt, nipples. Like what? A wet t-shirt?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll workshop it. Okay. There's something there.
That's like what celebrities have been doing recently.
Okay. So nips are in.
I send you a pic. Yeah.
All right. I'll take a picture. Sorry, you guys.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
No. Okay.
If I don't put the ideas out there, they're just.
You got to
gone
throw them
with
at the
wind.
wall and see what sticks. I get it.
Yeah.
As it stands right now, the main event for night 2, and there's been some question about if they're going to be moving this to possibly being the tag team match, is Charlotte versus Rhea. And we've kind of talked about this some already. I'm going to start with you, Justin. This time we'll go back around the zigzag the other way this time. Justin, where's your head at with Rhea and Charlotte going into it being the main event for night one? Should it main event because of the Royal Rumble stipulation? All of that kind of stuff we were chatting about a second ago, and then hit me with your winner.
Right. So I'll be honest, I have not had any interest in this match since it was announced. And that's not me being negative, but I was really under the impression and really hoping, when Rhea won the Royal Rumble back in January, she was going to go after Bianca Belair in the Raw Women's Championship. Because if you remember, that match was supposed to happen at Money in the Bank last year, and then Rhea fucking kneed herself in the head. And they just never went back to it, And I think that's a big match that they could have done and really built on, but they decided to go in this other direction just to kind of give Charlotte a match at WrestleMania. Or give her an opponent, I should say, because she would have had a match either way. But, look, I was willing to give it a chance at first because you do have the history with Charlotte beating Rhea in the COVID Coliseum a few years ago at WrestleMania, and they just haven't followed up on it, There's been barely any interaction with them on TV, aside from like 2, maybe 3 segments at most. And it's just not doing anything for me, And Rhea better fucking win. I'm going to say that on record now. Rhea Ripley better be coming out of the show as the SmackDown Women's Champion because, look, Charlotte at this point just does nothing for me. Even if she loses here, we know she's going to get the title back in a few months or by the end of the year. Nothing changes. So I'm going Rhea Ripley here, but that's my take on the whole match as a whole.
Lee?
I literally don't give a fuck about this match.
You still got to tell me who's going to win, though.
It happened 3 years ago. It was the opening match of WrestleMania. And look, nothing against the competitors. They're great competitors. But the only way I give a rat's ass about this match is if Plastic Charlotte Flair comes out to, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world wrapped in plastic, because it's all in her face. I'll be okay with it. Then I'll be like, all right, now I want to watch this match because she came out to that song. I don't care, though. Charlotte can lose and then win the championship again and then be like, I'm the 15-time women's world champion now. I'm only 1 away from tying dear old daddy. And I won't give a shit then either. Viper's saying put some respect on her name. No, fuck that bitch. Charlotte Flair left the big event early, leaving a bunch of fans not getting to meet her that had already paid for it. So she's obviously like dear old daddy who doesn't respect her fans, so she can suck my ass.
Wow, a whole lot of ass sucking there. Kaitai, where's your head at with old Charlotte versus Rhea?
To be fair, I just kind of want to piggyback off of Lee. I could really give a fuck too. Also, by the way, I picked up on a nice bit of timing. How awesome was it that you got a notification on Twitch to hydrate while Lee was singing a song by Aqua?
I know, that was really ironic.
Good timing, man.
Thank you, AJ.
No, dude, this match sucks, dude. You can look, you can salvage a little bit of interest outside of because the only people interested in this match are the fans that don't matter. Let's just be honest, okay? They're all deplorable. Their opinions don't matter. We can ship them on a boat, send them somewhere worthless like Northern Canada or something. Okay. This match, literally the only story you have is Charlotte won a couple of years ago. Charlotte lost in NXT to Io, I guess, by not getting pinned, which was fucking stupid.
Right, Rhea got pinned in that match.
Yeah, Rhea got pinned. So this is Rhea's chance for like some semi-redemption, which, to be fair, WWE hasn't given a shit about telling us a story with either women's match. As much as I'm disinterested in this match, don't even get me started on Bianca and Asuka. Because this match seems like world-class storytelling to that abysmal fucking build-up that they've had too. It's the two women's titles, and WWE doesn't give a shit about either of them this year.
Kyle, so just something that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Do you think both matches would have benefited had you had switched competitors? Say Charlotte and Asuka with the redemption story from WrestleMania 34 for the SmackDown Women's title and do Bianca and Rhea for the Raw Women's title.
Assuming WWE would actually tell the story, though. That's the thing. It's assuming they would actually give a damn to put the effort in to telling that story, instead of leaving it up to the fans to do all the entertaining themselves. Okay, I do enough of entertaining myself when I'm home. All right, I want when I turn my television on for fucking WWE to do it. All right, and they ain't doing that, man. So with that, I ain't trying to be too pessimistic, but I agree with Lee, man. I agree with Lee, dude. Like, this match can suck a fat one. Although at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley is awesome, and I think she'll win, which is pretty cool. It's just unfortunate. This is going to be a shit build that no one's going to remember.
Let's go, boy. Mommy Mania.
Al, what you think?
Well, all of the women's matches on both cards are trash because WWE hates their women's division. It is what it is.
Preach, Allison.
I do agree that the women's division was hurting while Charlotte was gone. You know, they've got all these talented women and they don't fucking use them ever. I mean, we've got 2 fucking nights of WrestleMania. So, like, 8 fucking hours of show. And you put on 4 mediocre women's matches. Like, all the women's stories are trash. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of them.
You don't think that 4-way banger we're about to get to is just gonna be the match of the year?
No, I don't.
The let's get some people on the show match.
Yeah.
You know, I like both Charlotte and Rhea. I do think Rhea's gonna win, but no one's going to give a fuck because, you know, the problem with Rhea winning is that the bulk of the Judgment Day shit happens on Raw. So honestly, she's probably going to lose the SmackDown title because she's not on fucking SmackDown. Yeah, there's the brand split isn't real except for with the women. So either they're going to break up the Judgment Day or she's going to lose to Charlotte. And my guess is she's probably going to lose to Charlotte because they're not ready to break up the Judgment Day even though they should.
Well, keep in mind also, there supposedly is a planned draft coming after WrestleMania, so that could be their out to get the Judgment Day to SmackDown.
I guess, if they're going to build like a... I mean, to move the Judgment Day to SmackDown, I think would be okay if they were keeping the belt on the Usos and Roman and doing like a Judgment Day versus Bloodline thing, which is what they should have done in the fucking first place. But, you know, Cody...
should have done her business fucking versus
nobody
Bloodline.
wants the her business, Kyle.
Nobody?
No, I'm just kidding.
I want.
I'm about to say, man.
Everybody wants it. Everybody.
I was about to jump through this screen at fucking Allison. I was about to choke her.
No, but I'm just saying, like, they should have built a faction to go against a faction. They should have fixed things with Naomi, brought her back, had her join the Bloodline. Then they would have a woman in the Bloodline for Rhea to go against. Or even if they didn't want to bring back Naomi, they could have used Tamina. You know, something. Make it, like, I love this thing with Sammy, but this was not supposed to be the storyline. It just happened to work out because Sammy and the Bloodline got really fucking over. It was originally only supposed to be, like, a 2-week thing.
It was just a thing for a transition story, but... I mean... I'm chiming in. I'll follow suit. I think Charlotte's maybe the greatest women's wrestler of all time, though. I think I'm in the failed minority in this group.
No, I agree with you. I think she is. I think she's in a weird spot where she is the greatest female wrestler of all time, or up there with it. One of the greatest wrestlers currently on the planet.
Yeah.
And I could give a fuck about her still, even knowing that she has all that. Yeah.
That's what sucks about having the draw power that she does, though, is because I don't give a shit if she has the title or not. She's Charlotte Flair. Come in, be Charlotte. Like, just like her dad did later in his career. You don't have to have the title if you're Ric fucking Flair because of who you are. Charlotte is bigger than the belt at this point. Let her come in. Let her do her big feuds, 3 or 4 times a year. She doesn't have to hold a belt and, be on TV every week to still be Charlotte Flair. So I don't think she's necessarily needed in the title picture. Give it to Rhea. Let her roll with it. Next women's title match, we're just going to... I don't imagine there's going to be a whole lot follow-up after what we just discussed with this Charlotte and Rhea match. Kai Tai, Bianca Belair, Asuka. What do you think?
Next.
At least tell me who's going to fucking win, guys.
Bianca.
Bianca will win, although it should be Asuka, but next.
Lee?
It should be Asuka, but it's probably going to be Bianca.
Al?
I mean, Bianca's going to win, and I think Bianca should win. I'm still not fully on board with Asuka yet. Like, that's just where I am. I think Bianca is right now, like, from a marketing standpoint and from a business standpoint, it's better for WWE to keep the belt on Bianca right now. Like, from a story, yeah, I think it would be cool if Asuka got it, but, like, Bianca is just too hot of a personality right now for them to take that belt off them.
We need to get her to, like, John Cena levels. Like, we need to get the crowd to turn on her because she doesn't lose. Like, that's where we need to get her to. We need to get her to John Cena levels.
They won't, and they cannot push that storyline without making them look bad.
Yeah, but then, like, I don't know, combine that with, I don't know, like, Rhea and Dominic's original dynamic. You know, they're not really playing up the Dom and sub shit between them now. They're just like any other, like, Hot Topic couple. So just redo that, like a dominatrix gimmick with like, remember Shaniqua back in the